expecting too much. All I've got is some stroganoff left over from last night.
Sounds fine.
And when I say left over from last night, I only had it last night because I made too much the day before and had some left over. It's really just leftovers.
Look at that.
What?
When I had my old car, no self-respecting sparrow would have been seen dead dumping on it. Now I've got this one. Half an hour after a beakful of grass seed, they're all queuing up like blasted spitfires.
And when I say stroganoff...
Have you got a tissue?
Well, I don't want to put you off. But when you come round to dinner, I have time to plan. Make something impressive. So you go off thinking I tuck into Moon Marinière and Logan Berry Pavlova every day of the week.
What, and you don't?
No. I have a pot of slop on the go, which sometimes I call stroganoff, and which Joseph Stalin would probably have called anti-Soviet propaganda. Still, if you suddenly suggest we come round here to lunch, that's what you get.
Slop pot.
Yes.
Like I said, sounds terrific. It's Daniel, though.
Summer holidays. Do you know what time it is?
Time I was up. And time I was behaving like a responsible adult.
12:30. There are people in Whitehall who've been at work for more than an hour. Jonathan's come for lunch.
What for? There's only that pot of slop.
Stroganoff.
So, how's things?
Pretty good.
God, I envy you. Lounging around in bed all day, no worries. I bet you've got a TV up there, stereo.
So, how's things with you then?
You want me to pay for you to go on holiday?
Well, Jason and Paul are going to Florida, and I said I'd probably go too.
Only as far as the Gatwick turnoff.
Come on!
No. Florida is in America. If it were in Milton Keynes, I might think about it. Jonathan, I wouldn't put that in your mouth just yet.
What?
Well, the advantage of a microwave is it heats things up in a few seconds. Unfortunately, heats them up so much you have to wait 4 hours before you can eat it.
Why can't I go? You can afford it.
You're too irresponsible to go gallivanting around the world at your age.
You always told me travel broadens the mind.
Yours does not need broadening. It needs a good going over with a Brillo pad.
Why don't we ask Jonathan what he thinks?
Me?
What's it got to do with Jonathan?
Well, normally when I want to do something and you say I can't and we have an argument, you wheel Jonathan in and he tells me you're right.
Exactly. So what's the point?
The point is, he only tells me you're right because that's what you tell him to tell me before he gets here.
I do no such thing, do I? All right. If you think it'll make a difference, we'll ask Jonathan to make the decision. Whatever he says, I will agree to.
Excuse me.
When you're ready.
No.
No what? No, I can't go.
There you are. Thank you.
No, I didn't mean that.
You said no.
Yes, but I didn't mean no, he can't go.
You mean I can go?
Are you saying I should allow my son to go
No,
gallivanting?
I didn't mean that either.
You mean I can't go?
No, I don't.
Well, if it's not too much trouble, perhaps you might like to tell us exactly what you do mean.
All right, yes, I'll tell you. I came here for lunch. So far, I've had a bowl of very nice slop that was too hot to eat without cauterising my tonsils. I've had a lump of bread and a banana on temporary loan, and I've listened to you two pummel hell out of each other. Now, you want me to settle the argument, so I leave here with at least one of you hating my so far empty guts. So what I meant was, no, I am not settling the argument.
Oh.
However, since I'll probably never come back here again in my life, what the hell? I'll tell you what I think. When I was your age, Florida hadn't been invented. The only bloke who ever went there was Alan Wicker. And he had to stow away on a Zeppelin. And what's more, if I wanted to go somewhere, I had to pay for it. Plasterer's mate, sweeper upper, home pride flower grader, you name it, I've done it. And all for 2 weeks grape picking in the plump regions of Europe. Up at the crack of dawn, belly full of grapes by 1 o'clock, and most nights perched over a porcelain-decorated hole in the ground with no seat. And you want me to tell your mother to give you a wad of cash so you can go prancing down a beach with a waffle in one hand and a prune daiquiri in the other? No chance whatsoever. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Now, if that's got things settled, can I have my banana back? Thank you.
Jonathan was marvellous. He said if you want anything in life, you have to work for it. Go out and earn your own money.
Quite right, too.
So, Daniel and I sat down together last night, and I said, if he got a job in the next 3 or 4 weeks, then you go on holiday. And he said, what about that place in the high street that does hot stuffed potatoes in their jackets?
Oh, God, I love those.
They've got some sign in the window, temporary help wanted.
They do this really gorgeous one with a kind of fried camembert filling.
Joyce.
And it's really crispy on the outside, but then when you stick your fork in...
Joyce! Anyway, you can imagine what I said.
No son of yours is going to hunt King Edward's for a living, stuffed or otherwise.
Exactly. But then I thought, what about hospital work? I mean, I do have some influence. So I had a quick word with the people upstairs. I got him a job just like that.
So I hear.
Kitchen porter.
Humping King Edward's.
There is a world of difference between humping them in a hospital for the benefit of sick people and wearing a green paper hat with Mr. Spudsy on it.
You bet there is. Mr. Spudsy pays more.
Anyway, I rang him up, told him to come straight in. He started this morning.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yes.
Hi, Mum.
And then one of our porters rang in sick, so I sent down for a replacement. And guess who they sent up? Just like that. Can you get someone to check those, please? Right.
Nikki, Joyce.
Oh, I thought you'd be pleased.
Stone me, you didn't waste much time.
Mum got me the job.
She never said a word to me. Sheila...
Shut up! Hello, people. You have not been busy since potty training.
Shut up!
I'm sorry, Danny. But you cannot work in these theatres.
I didn't ask to work here. They sent me up.
Well, I'm sending you down again.
Can you do that?
Of course I can. I'm your mother. I can change your name to Dorian if I feel like it. I just don't think you should be working in this department.
Why not?
A number of reasons.
Am I an embarrassment?
That's number 27, yes. How do you mean, embarrassment?
Well, if I'm your son, and I'm 17, people can work out roughly how old you are.
That has nothing to do with it.
If you are worried...
I'm not.
Well, there's no need.
Why?
I've already told everyone.
Daniel!
I had to say something. I mean, they couldn't believe that someone who looked as young as you could have a son my age.
Rubbish. Who couldn't?
I felt quite proud. You know, you and I could probably pass for brother and sister.
Only in a coal bunker. Who? I mean, exactly who was it that said that about me looking quite...
Bill.
Oh, Bill. We've met Bill.
Do you know him?
Oh, yes. It's probably the best porter in this whole hospital. I mean, if you are going to be working in this department, then I think you should stick close to Bill.
Well, there's no point in me getting the patient off to sleep until Sheila gets back. Ah. Sheila? Now, look. I don't mind the odd barb comment now and again. The next time you tell me to shut up in my own anaesthetic room with people standing around listening...
Oh, yes, Jonathan, I'm sorry. It was unforgivably rude of me, and I apologise 100%.
Oh.
Is the patient ready yet?
Well, she will be in a minute.
Fine.
Is everything all right? Michael. I don't know what he said to her, but it certainly did the trick. She's like a new woman. Smiling all morning, making jokes.
Sheila?
I know. Mostly about you.
Yes, well, we've always kind of traded affectionate insults.
She has this description of you in a leotard.
Yes, I know, thank you. I've heard it.
Proud. My God. Daniel this, Daniel that.
Yes, well, I expect she's just pleased to have him around.
She is. That's exactly it. She is.
She hasn't been telling the one where I got something caught up on the crash trolley.
Yep.
I'll kill her.
You see what I mean? I think that may be dangerous.
Well, I wouldn't use it. I'll get another one.
Thanks. Danny, Bill.
Oh,
Well, how's it going? Everything all right?
fine.
Behaving himself?
Oh, he's a good lad.
I mean, if there's any trouble, you just bring him to me and I'll give him a good spanking.
Oh, well. Sorry, do you two know each other?
Well, of course we... I'll have another word with you. Now, far be it from me to accuse you of lying. As far as I know, there are 486 porters in this hospital, all called Bill, who all think I look young enough to be Bambi's granddaughter, but that Bill is not one of them.
No.
So it was a lie.
Only the stuff about everyone knowing you were my mother. And being surprised that you were really that old.
I am not that old.
I just don't want all the porters to know who I am, that's all.
Why?
It's more fun. They tell me all the jokes about the surgeons.
You mean about me?
Well, some of them.
Like what?
Like what?
Yes. Tell me one of the jokes.
They're really not that funny.
It's all right, I just want to hear one.
You'll only get angry.
Daniel, why should I get angry about some pathetic little joke?
Well, you're angry now, and I haven't even told you one yet.
Daniel, I promise you I will not get angry. I just want to hear one, that's all, out of curiosity.
Well,
I borrowed this from Theatre 6. Can you put it back later before they notice?
Right. Mr. Sabatini.
For your information, I happen to look very nice in a leotard. From the right angle.
Joyce? It's only one of her jokes. I mean, look at it this way. If Sheila's happy, then we all have fewer problems. And right now, she is so incredibly...
If my son is not about pumping spuds in the next half an hour, I will rip you to shreds, Mrs. Watson.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Absolutely sickening.
Sorry?
That woman. People crying out for work all over the country, and who walks in here at 5 minutes' notice and gets a job as a porter?
Well, quite.
Donald.
Who?
My dear chap, Sheila Sabatini's son, that's who.
Yes, actually, I think you'll find his name is Derek.
Daniel.
Precisely.
Name's irrelevant. The point is, it's jobs for the boys, nepotism. Simply because his mother's a surgeon at this hospital, he was allowed to jump the queue.
There isn't one.
Huh?
People don't queue up for portering jobs in this place. A rather large net is dragged along under various railway bridges, and whatever gets caught in the holes is brought back and forced to push a trolley.
Anyway, I quite like him.
Yes, one has to admit the boy has a certain love of life.
You surprise me with a mother who dices with death every time she opens her mouth.
He's very popular with all the other porters,
Now, that's hardly relevant.
They tell him all the jokes.
which he quite happily passes on to us.
Well, I, for one, am not interested.
Every single one of them about his mother.
Like what?
How can you tell Mrs.
No,
Sabatini
no, please, save the smutty ones until later. What's the difference between Mrs. Sabatini...
You can say I haven't got a sense of humour.
Sabatini's got a longer tongue!
I like a good witty riposte as much as the next person, you know that. Oh, I know. And if the joke happens to be at my expense, well, all right, I can laugh.
Like me.
Exactly, I just think...
By the way, have you heard the one about me in the leotard?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, it's ever so funny. I laughed like a bucket when I heard that one.
The point is, my son is 17 years old, and I just don't like
Daniel.
the idea that... What?
Oh, nothing. Just thought he was older than that, that's all.
All right. I apologise for the one about the leotard.
Thank you. 17.
Yes.
Still thought he was older.
Joyce, I'm just worried he may get the wrong idea about me, that's all. Listening to that rubbish. I mean, he's always been quite proud that his mother's, well, you know.
Kicked, scratched and bitched her way to the top.
My God, when you get the hump, it's a real Mount Etna, isn't it?
Look, Sheila, let's look at this logically.
One of us has been.
The porters tell jokes about you behind your back, and you're worried because Daniel's heard of you.
Yes.
And one or two of them give the impression that you're some kind of stony-faced ratbag.
I hadn't heard those, no.
Oh, well, anyway.
Which particular Bob Monkhouse thought up those rib ticklers?
Look, I may have been wrong. They might have been about somebody else.
Oh, I see, you know two stony-faced ratbags.
Daniel's not daft. He's not going to be affected by that kind of thing.
How do you know?
Because he's not a kid anymore. He's a fully grown man.
Then why is my bathroom bursting at the seams with acne lotion?
You know what I mean. Now, have you ever thought that maybe he's proud of you because you're a tough, no-nonsense woman?
No.
Well, my son was quite impressed. Remember when you came round our house last Christmas and met my son?
Which one? The 19-year-old or the older one?
Mark. That's what he said to me anyway. He thought it made you even more attractive.
Really?
Mind you, he'd had a few vodkas by then and I couldn't quite hear with his head stuck down there. But that's what he said. That's what they seem to go for at that age.
Incidentally, how is Mark?
A lot less knackered than my plant, thank you.
Was she really angry?
Spitting napalm.
Can't you, I've already tried that. Can't you?
She's not been very pliable where I'm concerned. It's a bit like wicker work. I'd have to dunk her in water for a couple of hours. You see, all I've ever wanted is a quiet life. I'm not ambitious. I don't make waves. I just pootle about in my own unobtrusive way. And everywhere I pootle, there's your mother snarling at me like Fungus the Bogey Woman.
She's not angry with you.
Oh, yes, she is. She may be busy right now chewing Joyce up. But when she spat her out, she'll be down here sinking her fans into my jugular.
Dad used to say things like that. I'll be to blame, you'll see.
I will be. It was your idea she'd get a job. If you hadn't come to lunch, none of this would have happened. Any minute now, she'll come steaming here, face like forked lightning.
As a matter of fact, she's already steamed in. And as it happens, I'm not blaming you, because just at the moment I can't think of anything to blame you with. But rest assured, should anything occur to me, I shall steam back in at the earliest opportunity and empty my boiler in your underwear. Out of the way! Out of the way!
Size 6 gloves are in those boxes we got this morning. Now listen, everything's all right. I've had a word with Sheila and she's calmed right down. Daniel can carry on working here and everything's smoothed over completely. She's even smiling. What?
It's the new system. You can't go for a patient without a request slip from the office.
Oh, Michael, about what I said earlier on, I told you to shut up. That was very wrong of me. I hope you'll forgive me.
That's all right. By the way, Dr. Haslam said he wouldn't need the first patient till 2 o'clock.
Dr. Haslam is getting the first patient now! Of all the thick beef wishing, I found some!
A word of warning. You may find that one or two people are in a bad mood right now. It's my fault. I'm to blame. And if anybody wants me, I shall be in there quietly jamming my finger in a light socket. Okay? See that? That is a tracheostomy tube. If a patient gets a blocked throat or something, you make a little incision there, you stick it in, and he can breathe again. Unfortunately, it bypasses the vocal cords, so he can't speak.
So?
If you knew the number of people I'd like to fit with one of these. I don't know. All this rumpus over a couple of bad jokes.
I thought they were quite good.
Do they, do the porters tell any about me?
A few.
Like what?
They're not that funny.
Oh, come on, Danny, I'm not Sheila.
You'll only get angry.
No, I won't. Just tell me. One of the funnier ones. Go on, be a sport.
Well, yeah.
It's always Dr. Haslam. Whenever someone's narked about something, it's him they take it out on.
I know.
It doesn't seem fair. And he's so nice. Really polite and friendly.
Adrian.
Are you three going to stand there yakking all day, or are we going to get some work done?
How do you say?
Exactly.
I feel so sorry for him.
You seem to have cheered up considerably.
Oh, Jonathan, you take things far too seriously. People tell jokes about me all the time. I just turn a blind ear.
Jokes are supposed to be funny.
And if there's one thing that the British are supposed to be renowned for, it's the ability to laugh at themselves.
Anyway, it was about you.
I thought you said it was about you.
It was about me. And you. It's about you and me.
Then I think perhaps I ought to hear it.
Well, you won't get much of a laugh.
Jonathan.
All right. What do you get if you cross Dr. Haslam with Mrs. Sabatini?
I don't know.
A Rottweiler that apologises.
Let him job, you said.
That makes it my fault, does it?
Oh, and who would you blame? Gloria Hunniford? Come to lunch. And it's never happened. Joyce!
A Rottweiler's a lot prettier than a stony-faced rat rag.
Sorry! Well, say something.
You know he conned the lot of us. Those jokes did not come from the porters.
Mind you, they've been coming from them ever since.
And all because I made him take a job he didn't want to do. He's so puerile.
He's 17!
Jonathan, you can't have it both ways. 1 minute you're all telling me he's not a kid anymore. The next, you're all making excuses for the way he acts because he's only 17.
Well, it's a funny age, isn't it? It's a kind of human halfway house.
Well, I don't like him.
You gave him the money to pay for this.
Yes. Exactly how far away is Florida? So I'll see you in 2 weeks then.
Well, give your mum a kiss then.
All right, I'll give her one.
Hang on! Wait for me. Oh, I almost didn't make it. The trains are all being cancelled as usual. Hi.
Thanks for the lift.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're not telling me she's going as well.
Yes, she's Paul's girlfriend, apparently. Why? Why?
Sheila, it's none of my business. Anyway, if I told you, I feel like I was breaking a confidence.
I'm sure you would, and if you don't tell me, I can guarantee at least 4 other breakages.
All right, if you must know, when I came round to your house for lunch, you went into the kitchen.
Yes?
And I stayed talking to Daniel, who was on the stairs, doing things up.
I don't like the sound of this already.
Well, when we went into the kitchen, I heard this yelp.
What?
Sheila!
I'll kill him! I'll ring it! She'll make his
I'm so sorry.
So he can go to another country to do what he can do perfectly well at home. Get out of the way!